And just like that, we are live! What is going on, everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to the Technoid live episode every Thursday night at 9 p.m., of course. And we are live. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Get on in. Get on in. We got a nice show planned for tonight and actually got it really planned out exactly like this. So I hope you guys enjoy tonight's show. I hope you all enjoy yourselves. But anyway, guys, again, if you're watching on replay, again, hashtag replay crew. We always appreciate you watching on the replay. And for those of you watching it live right now, we will interact with you throughout the show. Now, tonight, I probably will be going solo as, well, haven't heard back from anyone. But not to worry. No problem, no problema. Everything is all good in woo land. But to anybody ever wondering if you want to come on my podcast, I've said it before and I'll say it again. My show is open platform, so anyone and anybody can come in. So if you want to come in, just hit me up on Twitter at Technoid12 at the username that you are looking for. Just reach out to me in the DMs. You just come right on in. You don't even need to worry. There's always room on the Technoid podcast. But anyway, guys, let's get straight to it. So first, we got Gene. Good to see you, my friend Gene, with a $2 super chat. That's very, very appreciative. Thank you, Gene. Thank you so much for the kind donation. TA Tech, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you again. We've got Mark, long time. Did you get the haircut yet? Just play it. I didn't ask you. Man, you got to check my Twitter out, man. I said it was an open show. Anybody's welcome to come on. If you still want to come on, there is still plenty of time. We are not in no rush, but we are going to talk two topics tonight. We are, of course, going to talk about the OnePlus 10 Pro 5G, which recently debuted, and then, of course, the competing company known as Nothing. No, literally nothing. But anyway, guys, real quickly, before we start the video, as you know, we got to get these shout outs out of the way. Number one, go to rogueenergy.com. Use promo code Technoid for 10% off. Get yourself the next best healthy alternative energy drink. And remember, every time you use the promo code Technoid, it helps support the channel. It helps to enforce a very, very, very good stability. But anyway, that's it for the shout out. And also, number two, if you guys haven't heard by now, I have an official, as you know, schedule due to the slight decrease in YouTube. Unfortunately, views have been down very, very low and significant this month, and it looks like it's going to be like that for a while. So I have decided to post a consistent schedule that I will be following from here until the summer, because then in the summertime, I can just do whatever I want because there's no limit. Everybody's watching. So we just have to adjust, we have to adjourn, and we just got to keep making videos, guys. We can't stop, be discouraged. If you're going through this, just know I'm going through it right now, but it's no reason to sulk, nothing to get mad about. Just keep making content, keep entertaining. Eventually it'll come back. But anyway, now we talked all about that. Let's start with the first story of the night. Now, originally the first topic was going to be the Nothing phone, but just realized today, that the OnePlus 10 Pro, it just came out today, so I can't not talk about it. But the OnePlus 10 Pro 5G. So first thing right off the bat, I guess OnePlus isn't catching on either because they're still dragging 5G in the marketing ploy. Come on, OnePlus. Apple ain't doing it anymore. Samsung ain't doing it anymore. Even Google probably dropped, excuse the notifications. I think even Google dropped the 5G name in their title. The only products that I might know that have 5G is probably the A series, but the S22 Ultra, S21, and S21 Plus, they no longer got the 5G, so I don't know why you still tagging this 5G like everybody doesn't know what it is. We're in 2022 now. We're heading into the 5G era. But in all seriousness, also, shout out to Blaze. Thank you for coming in. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you guys for all tuning in. But anyway, OnePlus 10 Pro 5G. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I heard there was an event. I just didn't watch it. I wasn't going to waste my time watching this event because I've already covered this phone numerous times. I've already made tons of videos leaking literally every promotional image that you're already seeing. If you want to spend more time, you can watch my previous videos. But I did go over the details and, it's so easy to trash OnePlus, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be, the guy that just keeps trashing this company because I've seemed to have built that reputation. And you know what? That's fine. I don't really care. I'm just like, what's his name on Twitter, who says he's a Samsung and Apple fan, but prefers Samsung any day. But anyway, what I would say is this phone, look, it's just another Android device. Let's call a spade a spade. This is just another OnePlus device that's going to do exactly what the last few OnePlus phones have been doing. Nothing. No partnership with Verizon. No anything. This is just, it's sad at this point that there are people trying to say that this is an innovative and intuitive phone. Sure, it does have some great hardware. It has a triple 48 megapixel sensor with the co-sponsor with Hasselblad, which is their second generation setup. It does have a nice display. I won't deny it is a great looking phone. It's got everything you could want. It's got the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. It's got 120 hertz refresh rate. So yeah, it's got everything. I'm not going to sit here and deny, but am I going to spend $900 on a OnePlus device? No. Are you going to spend $900 on a OnePlus device? No. And if you're really into the whole, this whole carrier thing, they only have two carriers, T-Mobile and Unlocked. And from what I understand, it is not certified for Verizon 5G ultra wideband. So, I don't know. I don't understand. OnePlus. Like, this is a genuine message. And I know I sound like an ass, excuse my language, an asshole. Just realized we ruined my monetization. I know I sound like a jerk, but guys, do you honestly expect this phone to pick up any steam? Do you expect this phone to bring them out of the darkness? This phone is just a prime example of just OnePlus being OnePlus. They don't market, they don't advertise. They are just I don't know, man. Listen, if you like this phone, if you like OnePlus, be my guest, man. I'm not going to trash you for liking OnePlus, but there's no way you're going to convince an Android user, a Samsung user, to switch from an already ecosystem that's actually building some momentum, even the Google Pixel line, to give OnePlus a shot. And I'm not saying they shouldn't. If you want to try it, I mean, listen, if somebody told me, hey, you want to try a OnePlus device? Absolutely. I'll try it out. I'd love to try it. But this is just going to be the same thing that we've seen over and over and over again from OnePlus. They just haven't learned their lesson, and they're not going to learn. They're not going to learn. OnePlus will continue to make some good devices that are just another Android, premium Android. It's just another premium Android flagship. It's not the flagship killer. It's not something that's not already being done. It's just another OnePlus device. And I don't say that with anything. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy this device. But how are you going to convince people to give this a shot when Samsung, Google, and just about when every other bit of the competition, it has more market share, has more variety? It's so easier said than done because there are fans of OnePlus. And if you're a fan of OnePlus, then fine. But it doesn't change the fact that it's just going to be the same thing that we've seen from OnePlus over and over and over again. And it's never going to change. They're never going to understand that if you want to be successful in this market, in the United States market, because this was, again, the market that they craved, they begged, they pleaded. They could do fine in any other market. If you want to go to Asia, Europe, where the big sales, fine. But even then, they don't even have market share. I've pulled the charts up. I've shown the evidence. It's disappointing. Also, shout out to Bobby. Thank you for joining in. I just don't know what else to say at this point. I genuinely do not have any more to say because this is just, it breaks my heart because I don't like sitting here and look at the bands. They do have N77, so that is actually very, very good. So maybe Sneed Mobile Tech approved. We'll see. N66 is in there. But regardless, it is what it is, guys. This is the OnePlus 10 Pro 5G. Big whoop. So that's it. That's all I can say. All right, that's the OnePlus 10 Pro. Now let's move on to the actual star of the show, Nothing Phone. Now you can see my enthusiasm has changed a little bit because this is actually very interesting about Nothing Phone. Because Nothing Phone is actually made, and that's why I did this after, is because this is the same guy who founded OnePlus, Karl P. I can't believe his name is Karl. But in all seriousness, this is the Nothing Phone 1. Now, there is no image of the phone because obviously they are still in their early development. They do have a startup product called the Nothing Earbuds or Nothing Ear 1. And the company's been picking up some huge momentum. They're currently going a crowd investment. You can get markets, you can also get stock investments, you can get everything. But it all started with the Nothing Earbuds 1. It is, you know, it started out as this a transparent, clear pair of earbuds that had a lot of hype. And I'm actually thinking of actually picking them up. I actually might pick up these audio earbuds for a review to see how they stand. But regardless, it was created and it built a lot of hype. So Carl P just came out and said, you know what? We're going to do a smartphone. We're going to do a smartphone and we're going to do it differently because we're not going to do the whole tradition. Oh, sorry, I took myself out. Mess up number one. But they said, we're not going to do the same old thing. We're going to do something a lot different. And I think we know exactly where he's going because this is a phone that I think might actually have a huge potential to be a very big name. Not just because it's called Nothing. And I'm also pulling up some fan images, some mock ups of what the phone could look like. But this phone could possibly be a huge, big shakeup in the tech world. Not just for the transparent background apparently being reported, but it could actually be something different and new. And I think that's exactly what this phone is going for. They hear the complaints of Android fans. They want an ecosystem that's tight integrated. They want long term support. They want a phone that will be built to last. That's all about the speed and connection. But most importantly, they want a phone that doesn't have the bloatware, that's straight to the point, that's smooth and simple and easy, but can actually have a huge standing. And I know I spent a few minutes trashing OnePlus, but I do have to also urge, Nothing Phone that this is, this is another one of those, one of those situations where you might fall into that category if you don't get this phone swinging. Because I'm not saying, and by no means am I saying that this phone is going to fail. I don't think it's going to fail at all because there is a huge fan base for Carl P. He is, if not one of the most famous, or at least at the very minimum, he is one of the more followed CEOs in the Android field till he was kicked out of OnePlus, which is kind of sad. But, you know, to see that he's gone off and done his own thing, it's pretty cool. And to see that this phone could be look like this, it could look like this, it could look like this, there is some potential here. So, sorry, gotta get my dog out of the corner. But there is a huge untapped potential for this phone. Now, I asked the question, will the Nothing Phone be a hit or a miss? Well, we won't know exactly until the phone actually comes out. We won't have any indication until we see what this phone is going to be like. But it is possible that this phone could have a very good chance of breaking some market share because it's different. Carl P was always price sensitive. He never once, focused on trying to make an expensive phone. He focused on flagship like That's really what OnePlus was. He really was the maker of OnePlus. But most of all, he's just got something about this phone that has everybody wondering, what is it going to be? And there's a lot of excitement here. And I'm not writing this phone off because this man, whether people will admit it, before OnePlus became he was the reason that they got to the American market. He was the reason that OnePlus had huge success when they first came here with the OnePlus 6T and the OnePlus 7 Pro. Those were the two biggest models, and even the OnePlus 8T. It was because of him that those three phones got OnePlus in the US and got them to have a very good standing. But since then, we've seen what's happened. But I will say, I am actually looking forward to this phone. I really am. And I think that there is some huge potential. Now, of course, there are going to be people that disagree. There are going to be people that say, you're just spouting nonsense. But it's not nonsense when you believe that there is something here. And, oh yeah, by the way, they're saying there's an announcement tomorrow, April Fool's prank. Do not fall for that, guys. Do not fall for this April Fool's prank. You really think I'm going to fall for this again? Nope. Nope. But, regardless, the Nothing phone, there is something here. And I think everyone should give it a chance. Now, it is expected to launch around in April. There's reports saying that it could come in the summertime. They are saying that the Nothing OS launcher, the software, comes in April, and the phone itself will come later in the summer. Now, is that a phone that I'm going to pick my hands up? Probably. Might actually take my hands on that. The question of whether it have 5G support and etc., there's no denying that. It's just a matter of what bands it will support in terms of the cellular technology. But that's the Nothing phone. That's the main topic of the show tonight. We do have one more topic, which we're going to brush over really quickly. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts on replay and in the live stream. If you're watching, again, thank you. What do you think of this one, this one phone, this Nothing one phone? Do you think it will be a hit or do you think it will be a miss? Let me hear your thoughts as we get to the last topic of the night, because this is a very quick show. We're not going to stretch this out as long as we need to. But the last story is the market share for the iPhone SE. Now, as you know, the iPhone SE is everything that we said exactly what was going to happen. People weren't going to buy this phone. And that's exactly what happened, because according to Ming-Chi Kuo and a couple of other users, it is being reported that Apple is cutting iPhone SE production 20%. And that is not a good sign. Now, I already covered this story, and I said it, and I did a short on it, which, by the way, actually really blew up. So YouTube Shorts is a real thing. But one of the things that shocked me the most is that there were Apple fans that literally thought that this was going to bring in 25, 30 million units. They spent a whole segment on this phone. They literally spent an entire duration talking about the iPhone SE with the same 7 to 8-year-old design that has been on the iPhone since the iPhone 6. They had the nerve to try and gamble that people would switch because this had 5G in it. No, people were smarter. People realized, look, it's the same phone, just slightly different. And honestly, I can see it right now. People are gonna not like this phone. See, Gene, I bought the iPhone SE 3rd edition from my carrier, which is T-Mobile, and the iPhone SE 3rd edition is horrible. It's just like the 2nd edition, and the cases are just like the iPhone 7. See? This is what happens, and Apple, let this be a lesson to you. Because you learn all the time. We see that. But let this be a lesson to you. When your fan base is asking for a redesign, and you have leftover cycle components from the iPhone XR, take the chassis and maybe make that the iPhone SE. Because the iPhone XR could have been the new iPhone SE and could have been priced at $429 because the resale value for an iPhone XR is in the ballpark of an iPhone SE. So you mean to tell me that you couldn't borrow that same iPhone XR, call it the iPhone SE, use the same crappy display, use the same crappy notch? You're telling me you couldn't do that this year? That you had to wait a full year of people just using the same crap? Essentially, that's what it is. It's the same crappy design. And you think that people were going to buy this phone? Yeah, you'll get sales, but look what's happening. Lower than expected. So, Apple, let this be a lesson. Don't stretch a damn release for a phone that has no business being in a WWDC or a spring event or an October event or a September event. You know when this phone deserved that? When it first came out. That's it. You know when it didn't need it? This year. You threw it in just because you had to. You wasted everybody's time when you could have just did a refresh on their website. Save everybody time and quiet. You didn't. You gambled, you missed, now you got to pay the dealer. And that's what happens. And that's it. That's it for this live episode of Technoid. Now, guys, this is a very quick episode. Like I said, we weren't going to be on here for too long. But anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this up real quickly. Again, that's all we're going to talk about for tonight. But anyway, guys, let me hear your thoughts down below. What do you think of the Nothing phone? I actually think it's going to be pretty good. Might have some huge potential going in. What do you think of the OnePlus 10 Pro? It's just the same old for me. And lastly, the iPhone SE's production getting cut. That's what happens when Apple tries to sell an old device. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you did, hit the like button. If you did like the video, hit the dislike button. Helps recommend my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next episode. Have a great day, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Have a good day. And